Welcome to Founders Tales, Nash. Good to have you on. Do you want to just give everybody a quick intro to yourself and your business, Camouflage Networks?
Thanks for having me, Chris. My name is Nash. I'm building Camouflage. It's a layer 3 security layer for connecting machines and agents with each other to essentially have what you call as an off switch when it comes to cybersecurity. You know, when you have humans and AIs on the same network, you want to make sure that you want to silo them. If you have any other critical asset in the company that you want to make sure that only the right people have access to it or the right AI has access to it, you can use us.
Yeah, perfect. And what was the problem or situation that kind of sparked the idea for the business?
That's an excellent question. A couple of years ago, when I first encountered this problem myself at the fintech role, I used to be a VP at a unicorn called Finally. We had a lot of assets, like fintech assets, monies that you're moving around. The number one thing was, how do I safeguard these endpoints from bad actors? And today, bad actors could be AI agents, or it could just be people that are using AI cleverly to infiltrate and do damage. So the problem still is there. There are some solutions out there, but there's nothing like standardized or nothing that actually really kind of a solution that I would say where the rubber really meets the road. You know, there are solutions you could like kind of modify them and use them in your infrastructure, but nothing like that's super solid.
Yeah. And how does the product look today versus when you started working on the project?
Oh, that's a great question. The first thing was, is this even possible to build? The reference architecture was, a closed source VPN connection solution by some of our competition like Palo Alto Networks or Cisco. Then there's an open source solution like WireGuard. So prototyping took a while, and 2 years ago we didn't have AI, so it was done the traditional way. Now we can accelerate. There are things in the code that I can ask the AI to do, like testing, but it was all done manually. It was a little bit slower, but I think building that solid foundation was like the most important aspect. Prototype was one thing, and then a lot of just conversations with potential customers, like, hey, what are you seeing in terms of challenges that you have, and how could we modify it to satisfy some governance control you may have in the company?
Yeah.
And the bigger you are, if you're in financial sector or government or defense, the more rigorous the governance requirements become.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the one thing that you know now that you wish you knew when you started the business?
I would say get your product in the hands of customers more often.
Yeah.
I held back, so therefore there was a 2-year waiting period for what I was thinking. Hey, can this make a dent? And then we open sourced our solution. That took another year of decision making. Anybody can take it today and then apply it to their own corporate needs if they want to. We do offer control plane services on top of it, so you can scale it for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 employees. But I would give that advice to myself, like, hey, you have a prototype, just give it out, see what happens.
Yeah, in your defense, I do hear that a lot from other founders. I think it's a common trait that often it's your baby. You want to kind of make sure that it's as closely aligned to your vision as possible before putting it out there, right?
Yeah, don't wait too long.
Yeah. Okay. Good advice. And how did you convince your first client to believe in the vision that you have for the product and the business?
That's an excellent question. Without going into too many details on how did I convince them, I just happened, because of my past roles, I just happen to know people that are in the right organizational structure, like folks that are in the CISO roles.
Mm.
I see their challenges, and the problems are very similar, even in different industries. Cybersecurity is like, I would say, a unified field across. If you don't have a cybersecurity program in a company, you should have one, because you don't want to find out later that if you had it, could you have prevented something bad happening?
It's too late then.
Yeah, too late. And we've seen every day there's somebody gets hacked. You can see it in the news. It's true, and I don't think there's enough products, enough services out there. And the question was like, hey, how many, I would say my best conversations with the potential partners that we have right now were by leading with questions, asking them like, how do you do this? How do you prevent from doing that? And then the problem became more relevant. The pain point became more significant, and it was easier to kind of ask them, hey, could you pilot something that we have?
Yep, brilliant. And what's been the most difficult, trickiest position to fill in the company?
So we are looking for a cryptographer or a math or someone with a math PhD who could come in and bring their skill set to verify our implementation, so we can say, hey, this is not just a vibe coded product. It is a mathematically proven model that would really make an impact. It's open source. You can look into it. We want millions of eyes on our product. We want them to thoroughly read the code if they can. And if they have any kind of changes that they want in it, they can open up an open pull request on GitHub.
Yep, brilliant. And we're trying to shine a light on the Boston startup ecosystem. So in your opinion, what advantages or disadvantages do you see when it comes to building out in Boston versus maybe the West Coast or New York?
So earlier this year, I saw some metrics around how much investment is driven in each of the cities. So the first is San Francisco, obviously, New York, LA, and then it's Boston, right? So we are still in the top places for startup investment. But Boston is biotech, but there is a tremendous amount of cybersecurity presence here. There's a lot of companies that are here. My first role was at a company called RSA. A lot of my former colleagues have went on to start their own companies. A few of them are public now. So it's a great ecosystem for our industry. For other ones, I can't make a comment, but I think Boston does have, and then we have Harvard and MIT, like, the best schools. There's Northeastern, where I went to myself, and there's smart kids that are coming out of these schools, and they can really make an impact.
Yeah. And personally, have there been any local mentors, meetups, any particular resources that you found beneficial when it comes to trying to build out so far?
There are 3 groups I recommend. One of them is Sunday Club, which is more focused towards hacking. It's run by a group of hackers, enthusiasts, now actually a foundation as of today. And it's an excellent resource to actually go try out things, meet other developers, share ideas, and create together. If you're looking for a co-founder or something like that, they can help you. They also have resources in terms of mentorship, so you can look at other industry leaders. The second one is Venture Fizz, a guy named Keith. He runs really cool curated events for different technology stacks. I highly recommend subscribing to his newsletter. And the last one is MTLC, which is Mass Technology Leadership Council. It's pretty broad and big. So if you are a company that's requiring domain knowledge in industries that you're not familiar with, they have a broad network of leadership roles in different organizations that are part of MTLC that you can tap into. And I highly recommend going to MTLC and then checking out their website. So those are that come to my mind.
Yeah, perfect. Good. Thanks for those shout outs. So apart from get your products out as soon as possible to get that constructive feedback, is there any other piece of advice that you'd kind of be passing on to others in similar situations, so people trying to build out an early stage business?
I would pass this advice that was given to me 6 months ago by a good friend of mine who's also a VC. It was have those dispassionate conversations. You don't have to build a product. Like talk to 100, 200 people that you think this problem might apply to. And you might find that either your solution can make an impact, or you might run into another problem that you can build for. And I think that discovery piece is sort of really important for founders. And then assuming that you've had 300 or 400 conversations, I know it's hard and tricky to do all those conversations, but if you have had, some of them might become your customers. Could be your early adopters, because they feel that that intimate conversation that you've had with them can make an impact, and then you could be their champion to solve the problem that they have. And it allows you to also find the burning need.
Yeah, brilliant. And then finally, to finish up, how do you personally stay sane, motivated when it comes to dealing with the highs and the lows of building?
Oh man, someone close to me calls the whole idea of staying motivated delusional, but I would say I equate that to childish dream. You need to believe in something. Like, for example, if a kid asks, hey, I would like a chocolate, they really believe that they can get it. I think founders need to be relentless and also be delusional to believe that they can get it in a childish way. I think that's the source of motivation. Everything else will kind of fall in place. And then if you're stuck, ask other founders, and believe it or not, other founders do help. Like I think that's a really good source of motivation. So don't stay in your basements, go out there, go to those meetups, make some connections, and don't be shy and say, hey, he might steal my idea or something like that. Actually, that's brutally nonsense. Believe it or not, they might actually join your vision instead. So yeah, I think this is the right time to, get out of your shell and innovate.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks for that. I like that outlook. It's a nice one to kind of put the lens through. So, listen, Nash, thank you very much for joining us today. That was fantastic. Appreciate your time, and look, best of luck to yourself, Camouflage, in terms of your growth and your journey.